Last season, the Minnesota Vikings were 13-3. I mean 13-4, excuse me. 13-4. They kind of surprised a lot of people, especially with their record that they had. But this is going to be a different team, right? No Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is gone. He's now, I believe, with the New York Jets. But they did add some decent pieces. They added a wide receiver in the draft that they believe is going to be as good as Justin Jefferson, who was the star receiver, and they released Adam Thielen. I also believe that happened. So this is a different team. Let's look at the depth chart. This is usually good to look at the depth chart here. So Kirk Cousins starting quarterback. You got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, who they really like. TJ Hawkinson, who I believe TJ was a former Seahawk. So he's the tight end now. I mean, this team doesn't look, on paper, it doesn't look like a great team, right? It definitely is not a team that's going to win 13 games again. But we also have to understand that the NFC is weaker, is an inferior conference. But either way, the Vikings are not going to be as good as they were last year. They're going to take a huge step back. They don't have a lot of depth at wide receiver anyway. They brought up they got N'Keal Harry, who's not going to make this. He's not going to do nothing. Right? They picked up N'Keal Harry. He's trash. That guy's he's a fucking garbage. He is garbage. Okay. He's so bad that he is listed as the 4th on the depth chart. 4th. Right? So you got Jefferson, Addison, the second unit, Rigger and Naylor. Then you got Pro Jackson as a third, and then you see Jackson and N'Keal Harry. So N'Keal Harry is so bad, he's not even in he's not even in a rotation. That's a graceful. I mean, they wanted to blame New England. Oh, New England didn't know how to use him, blah, blah, blah. No, New England gave that man a chance by making him a first-round pick. Maybe the guy was never supposed to be a first-round pick. Also, right? So we'll see how good is Jefferson, Addison, and Osborne. Seems like a solid receiving core, right? Not the best receiving core in the league, but it still may be good enough to win some games in the NFC North. We'll have to find out. So we'll see about that. Now, the Vikings, right? They lost in a wild card game, which told you how overrated they were at 13-4. 13-4, and you lose in the wild card. The wild card. Like, really? You lost in the wild card to the New York Giants. Unbelievable. Imagine going 13-4 just to lose in the wild card to the Giants. To the freaking Giants. And I'm just saying. So, but you got to give credit to Kevin O'Connell, not O'Connor. Sorry. First year with the team. Now, the defense was dreadful. That was one of the dark spots. They had a top 10 offense. The defense was one of the worst in the NFL. They finished the year with a point differential of -3, which was worse than the year before, despite the fact they won 13 games. The year before that, it was -1 under Mike Zimmer, who was the coach for all those years in Minnesota, and they were second at 8 wins. So, and they actually scored less points 2 years ago, right? They scored 424 points last season, which was, the offense was top 10. But 2 years ago, 425 points they scored total. as an 8-win team, and that offense wasn't even top 10. That was like a top 15 offense. So the stats just shows you that the Vikings team is actually not as good as they were, and it also shows how bad the NFC is. That's basically how it is, folks. This is why this season the Vikings are going to be worse. Now you can say, well, stats don't mean nothing. You're just reading off stats. I know I got some criticism on some previous videos about I'm just reading off stats, but the stats do tell a story when you go deeper. No, obviously I'm not saying, oh, just because they finish top 8, that means they're going to do it again. No, we're saying that the stats tell a story. That's what I'm saying. There's a story being told behind the stats when you go deeper. No, if you make an argument with just stats alone, yes, of course, that's not a honest argument. But when you're talking, when you have to peel back the onion, that's what I just did. I peeled back the onion, and I'm giving you a reason why I believe that this Vikings team was not as good as advertised, or as a result, and which ultimately means that they will take a step back. That's just how it goes. So you can hate me all you want. I'm just telling you what it is. So let's get to the schedule. Week 1, at home facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We give the Vikings the win here at home. They're going to win their home opener against the Bucs. Week 2, they head out to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. They're going to lose that game on Prime Video. 8:15 start, East Coast, 8:30ish. You know how that goes. That's going to be a loss. Week 3, back at home, they host the LA Chargers and Justin Herbert and those LA Chargers. And that's going to be a loss on Fox. Week 4, they head out to Carolina to take on the Carolina Panthers on Fox. Now, this is a Carolina team that's going to be brand new. They got a new quarterback, new situations going on. But the Panthers are going to win that game at home. Another loss for the Vikings. Now they're 1-3. And then they got week 5, headed out to back home to host the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champions. That's going to be a loss. So now the Vikings are on a 4-game losing streak. 1-4 is O'Connell on the hot seat. Week 6, head out to Chicago to take on the Bears. That's going to be a win. They're going to win the game in Chicago, believe it or not. 2-4. Week 7, back home, taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And the 49ers with Brock Purdy at quarterback. Who knows how well they're playing. Maybe Sam Darnold steals the job at some point before week 7 because Purdy shows that he ain't as good as advertised. Who knows? But either way, the 49ers will win that game on Monday night. Another loss for the Vikings. Week 8, at Green Bay, take on those Green Bay Packers division game. They're going to go into Lambeau, Kirk Cousins, and beat Jordan Love and the Packers. Week 9, head out to Atlanta, take on those Falcons. Welcome to Atlanta where the players play. That's going to be a loss for the Vikings. They're going to lose also to New Orleans in week 10. Week 11, they lose to Denver. Week 12, they beat the Bears, sweep the season series at home at the Bears on Monday night. Another Monday night game. So they have already a couple Monday night games throughout the first 12 weeks. They get a bye week at week 13. Maybe they fire the coach. Maybe they don't. Maybe they let them finish out the year. They reevaluate the situation. Maybe they see what goes on. Maybe. I don't know. Week 14, they go out to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. They're going to lose that game on Fox. Week 15 at Cincinnati. That's going to be a loss. Week 16, they back home hosting the Detroit Lions. They're going to beat the Lions. Division game on Fox. They're going to play pretty well in the division this year. Surprisingly. They're just not going to be well outside the division. Week 17, they're going to beat the Packers at home, Sunday Night Football, and they're going to lose their final game of the season at Detroit to finish the year 6-11. Now, you guys are going to be like, "You're crazy. You're unbelievable. They won 13 last year. That means blah, blah, blah." Last season is last season, folks. I'll tell you what. Every year we know for a fact that it happens like clockwork in the NFL. Teams who have big seasons, there's always going to be a few teams that are going to come back down to earth or have bad years. Now, this year in this division, we got the Vikings finishing at 6-11 because I have the Chicago Bears winning more games, and also the Detroit Lions, who will be an 11-win team.